What's up? What's up? We're live. We're back with another mini segment on Listen to DP. I got my boy Justin. I got my guy Dev. And we got a good one for y'all, man. The Detroit Lions. Y'all see the title, Inside the Lions Den. And to be honest, this has been one of the best turnarounds in pro sports. Not just football, but in pro sports. Since Barry Sanders has left, they've been down, down, down. Barry Sanders was my favorite player growing up, my favorite running back. That's why I wore 20 in every sport. And once he left the Lions, I pretty much left the Lions. When Calvin Johnson got there, there was some more hope. They weren't able to really, capitalize on his talent. The Lions are literally responsible for making two of the greatest athletes, not just football players, athletes ever retire while still being in their prime. Think about that. You have Barry and Calvin Johnson retire in their prime. You have I believe, the greatest running back, and Calvin, keep going, could have been the greatest wide receiver. To retire in your organization early is crazy. Yeah. But Dan Campbell's come. He started off 0-10-1, and since then, it's taken off like a rocket ship. You've seen it at the end of the year last year. They went on like a 7-game winning streak, I believe. Then they just rolled straight in this year with a win over the Chiefs. Everybody's like, I don't know. Patrick didn't play good. They asked Dan Campbell, was he – oh, goodness, I got to get my new iPad so they stop switching on me. But they're asking Dan Campbell, was he surprised? He's like, I'm not surprised about nothing. That confirmed what I already knew. He said, I knew we were good, but this run in this season has confirmed what I knew. Jared Goff, resurgence. Gibbs, they laughed at the pick at number 12. Dog. St. Brown. Dog. What is it? Aaron Glenn, DC.
Defense.
Dog. Laporta, how do you say it?
Dog.
Another rookie. Dog. Bro, what do y'all feel about what's happening? And then the last thing, they've had 2 home games in the playoffs. And this home game was the highest price tickets ever for a divisional round. What do y'all see going on in Detroit that's working so well?
For me, I think, man, you know how Goff was sent there for his career to end. That's exactly why he was sent there. Yep. He got in, he showed he was the leader, and now he's actually leading this team. I think he is a major part of their success. I mean, he's making great throws, making great reads, keeping his team, keeping everybody up and in the game. Now, also, I mean, when you have a coach like Campbell, shit, he the type of dude you would run through a brick wall from. Like, look how big he is. You know, just feel like he got that grit. You know that you just, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna ball out, I'm gonna put my life on the line for this team and this coach. That's what you get. Even when you hear him talk post-game speech, I'd be ready to throw some pads on. So, I mean, with that and all the intangibles, I mean, we got Gibbs, St. Brown, Laporta, we got Hutch on the defense. We got all of those people who are, once it comes together, they can't be beat as of now. Like they are winning, and I mean, I'm ready for this upcoming weekend because it's about to be some good ball with the Lions, and I firmly think that them boys gonna go in and get that dub.
Boy,
that's what I mean. I will say, man, the 49ers have showed a lot of flaws this year, and that they're very beatable. I will say that. Yeah. We'll get into them on our next segment, but yeah, I'm not mad at that pick. Because they have shown that they are beatable this year, and they have lost games, and they could have lost the last one. So, what do you feel about them Lions, Dale?
Man, it's like we saw it brewing. If you watched any episode of Hard Knocks, man, the season they were on last year, before the season started, you saw it brewing. You saw just the passion and Dan Campbell, and you begin to think, okay, is this, is he putting on for the cameras or what? But that's him. That's who he is. And you wonder, too, is that going to work with guys that's getting paid, that rah-rah stuff like that? Like, that's more of a college type thing, But these guys buy into it. They're buying into him. And the proof is in the pudding. Like you said, like y'all mentioned, Aaron Glenn, he's doing his thing with defense. That defense was getting tore up at certain points last year, man. To see them do a 180 and playing the way they're playing right now is amazing, which is why he's getting some head coaching looks. And I really think, like Justin said, Goff has been able to kind of solidify the team a little bit, having a veteran in the right spot, because they're pretty much a young team, honestly, but they have a vet in the right spot, a guy who's been there, a guy who's proven, has been to the playoff wars, been in the Super Bowl, and even though it didn't work out for him, you can't replace that experience. Right. And so I think that they really are set up to win. And on top of that, they're showing that they draft well. You know, you drafted Hutchinson, we drafted Jameer Gibbs, I'm sorry. You drafted Laporta. Also, we forgetting about Branch, the safety they drafted as well. So them guys, they're doing the thing over there, man. They're building something, and they definitely have a shot. Do I think they're gonna win? And I don't know. We'll get into that, but I really feel like that they are really building something nice over there, and I really truly feel that Dan Campbell, even though he hadn't gotten it, even though I don't think he's gonna get it, there's no way he shouldn't be looked at as coach of the year, man. Like really, the way that they've really turn that thing around in Detroit. It's a beautiful thing.
I think the only other guy that could even be in the sense with him is D'Amico Ryan.
That's why I think he's going to get it.
Person that can be in
That's
why
I think he's going to get it.
The Texans, like I said, the Texans turnaround this year is amazing. The only reason why I give the Lions turn around a little more because they had been 0-16 more than the Texans had.
Yeah.
But it's because that they're now in this championship game, right? With a Jared Goff that you thought wasn't going to be anybody. Like he went there to literally be packed up.
Yep.
Jared Goff there's only 3 quarterbacks to win 14 games with 2 different teams. One goes by Thomas Edward Brady Jr. and one is Peyton Manning. And obviously the other is Jared Goff. So therefore, just to be in that rare air, he was the first person to get the playoff win like in 32 years for the Lions, the first one to get like 20 years for the Rams. As much as we want to say it, Jared Goff has to be a guy that when we look at it, when it's all said and done, we're not talking about Hall of Fame, but we're talking about this is a guy, if you're a coach, you say this is what you look at. You don't go look at the Cam Newton, who the number 1 draft pick. You go look at the number 1 draft picks like Baker, because we'll get into him, and Jared Goff, and shows you what fight looks like, what growth looks like, what a professional looks like that has matured. You don't look at Johnny. You don't look at Cam. You don't look at even some of these other guys maybe that did good or not. These guys have been to up and down and research, and that's what I tell guys. Look at guys that you can literally put yourself in their shoes, because you're never going to be as big, fast, and strong as Cam.
True.
But you can be a guy that was very good, see some lows, and then fight your way back out of it like a Baker in a Goff. So when it's all said and done, hopefully he continues to have a good year. He's going to be one of those guys that coaches are going to have to be like, oh, if you want to know what a dog looks like, and people don't talk about him enough as a dog, Jared Goff, that's a dog, because everybody counted him out.
Yeah, and you just hope that the franchise, like you said, that ran off Barry, that ran off Megatron, that they don't screw it up, right? Because it's like you're looking at it like you just got to feel they're going to screw it up. And the way that, the way the city is behind it, they're a Cinderella story right now. They are a Cinderella story. So you just hope they don't screw it up, man.
I don't think they will this time. They should have. History repeats itself if you don't learn from the past. True. So at the end of the day, I mean, like you said, the city behind them, they making money hand over fist with these games. So I mean, hey, they can't drop the ball on this one. Don't fumble the bag on this one, Detroit. On everything, on my mama.
Yeah.
and they said last week, Goff said them chanting his name had them calm, so obviously they did it. So they're behind them. I think they know they took some stuff for granted, and they thought, right when you're good, you think you're always going to be good. Dan Marino, I think I'm going to get back to the Super Bowl. The Lions now know when we're good, we ain't taking nothing from granted, from management to players, to the organization, to the city, to the fans, to the janitors, to the concessions. So I think that's a city that needs it. It's a city that has an NBA team that's not doing good, so people will migrate over to them because that will be their own of, oh, well, they're bad, but we good over here, right? So Excuse me. So that's always something to help when you have an NBA team or an NFL team.
Yep.
When one's doing way better than the other, it gives you a natural boost because you want to kind of be able to, brag on something. When you just have one or the other, when they're not good or even if they are good, you just kind of be like, eh. But when you have both and one's doing bad, you got a lot of sports fans. So the baseball people become football people, right? Because they just want to brag on their city. So I love to see that because you got people showing that they've been season ticket holders for 49 years or dude that just turned 80. So I know they lit about that. I know Barry's lit. I know Calvin's lit. They used to not be around much. Yeah. Obviously, they're being welcomed back in for this run. So I'm loving to see that they're welcoming those guys back in and that it's working for them.
Yeah. If they keep drafting well, they keep putting pieces together like they do, man. They pay the right guys. They're going to be fine. They're going to be another team to be reckoned with, man. That division is looking crazy right now.
Yeah,
it really is.
Sure.
Man. Good talk right there, fellas. We'll end that one on that note. And if y'all haven't liked, subscribe, please share. Please do all the good stuff. Like I said, it's just a tap of a button. Y'all show love to me and my guys, man. We out.